I'd love some.
Yeah.
Thank you. Delightful.
Oh, hello there. We're here today on our first and only video British NPR with Wilfred Owen, the world-renowned World War I poet.
Hi there.
You seem to have lost your British accent, and you seem to have quite a lot of notes for an interview about yourself.
Well, I have been dead for almost 100 years, and so my accent has faded along with my memory.
I see. Well, let's start out with your early life. What was your childhood like?
Well, I was born on March 18th, 1893, to a middle-class family in West Central England. I grew up with little schooling and was quite disappointed to find out that I was not a wizard. But I did always love writing poetry and spending time with my mother.
And how did this close relationship with your mother influence you?
Well, she was a very devout Christian, and which it would later play into some of my other poems later on in life. Although, unfortunately, my faith has degenerated over the years.
I see. I know you did not attend college, so what did you do?
Well, because Hogwarts was off the table, I worked as an assistant to a clergyman, which is also a private teacher, and then I also enlisted in the Army in 1915.
Tell us about that.
Well, it was bloody hell. I spent 6 months training, and then I was shipped out to France in 1916 and moved in and out of the front line for 4 months.
Oh, bullocks, you must have seen a lot. Why were you there only 4 months?
Well, this is very hard to talk about, but in May of 1917, I returned home to Craig Lock Wart Hospital, War Hospital, diagnosed with shell shock, or what you guys call now PTSD.
How did this time influence your poetry?
Well, most importantly, I met a good friend of mine, Siegfried Sassoon, who influenced me more than anyone else in my poetry. I also wrote lots of poems about the horrors of war during this time.
Tell our audience about your tragic death.
Alright, well, I died on the front lines on November 4th, 1918 during battle. This was just 7 days before the armistice was signed.
Oh, bullocks. All those war experiences must have given you a very poignant poetic vision. Would you like to talk to us about that?
Sure thing. I like to write my poetry of experience, simply and bluntly. I used a lot of literary techniques to convey my vision about terrors and the cruelty of war.
I've also heard you like to use biblical allusions. Is that true?
Yes, in fact it is very true. Several of my poems contain many references to the Bible. Would you like to hear one now?
Oh, I'm sure we'd all love to hear that.
Alrighty. This one is called The Parable of the Old Man and the Young by me. So Abram rose and clave the wood and went, and then took the fire with him and a knife. And as they sojourned both of them together, Isaac the firstborn spake, and said, My father, behold the preparations, fire and iron. But where the lamb for this burnt offering? Then Abram bound the youth with belts and straps, and builded parapets and trenches there, and stretched forth his knife to slay his son. When lo, an angel called him out of heaven, saying, Lay not thy hand upon the lad, neither do anything to him, thy son. Behold, caught in a thicket by its horns, a ram. Offer the ram of pride instead. But the old man would not so, and slew his son and half the seed of Europe one by one.
Oh my, oh my. That's very impressive reading. Now we have some callers put in some questions for you to answer. One wants to know the biblical allusions Tom is making.
Well, the inspiration for this poem came from Genesis chapter 22, verses 1 through 19, and my experiences in the war. The words closely follow the words of the Bible, but merge the biblical lands with the Western Front. When what?
Just continue.
And lines 7 through 8. Then Abram bound the youth with belts and straps, and builded parapets and trenches there.
Oh, that makes sense. And then God is shown as merciful, unlike in some of your other poems, like Soldier's Dream. Here he stops the saying, quote, Lay not thy hand upon the lad. Is that right?
Yes, then the real plot twist comes next when Abram does not listen to God and slays his own son and half the seed of Europe one by one.
Well, that's some bloody good imagery there.
Yes, I like to create very bloody, vivid, and bloody horrifying pictures of the bloody war.
We have one very confused viewer who wants to know what comment you're making about the bloody war.
I am saying that the bloody men are disciplining the bloody God who preaches bloody peace and are instead of going out on their own and committing bloody, senseless, bloody, godless, bloody killings.
You sure don't like war? How does this poem exemplify your work overall?
Well, it includes the overarching themes of the bloody brutality of the bloody war and the gruesome/bloody conditions the soldiers faced. My use of bloody imagery and other devices also personify my bloody poems.
Okay. Sounds like now would be a great time for someone to be teaching your work and vision to high school students.
Bloody indubitably. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you, viewers, for tuning in to our first and only British NPR. Stop saying bloody.